Hey guys, how is everybody? How is everybody? How we doing? What are we talking about? Smells in the fucking comment section. You guys are bad, guys. What do you think happened to Malaysia Flight 370? Hey, Edie Cook, Lady Blue, Rainbow Ribbons, Gutter Snipe. Nice to see you. It's not that I wasn't nice to see the people that I said before. Nice to see you guys too. Kathleen, how are you? How you feeling, Kathleen? Not that I don't care about how the other ones feel before. I'm sorry. Let's see. Did I forget anybody? Don't want to get shot. Edie Cook, Lady Blue, Gutter Snipe, Kathleen. Oh man, we're talking about cutting meat here. I think so. Yeah. Milk Honey and Mayhem, Jamie Jameson. And we got people in the bushes. Thank you so much. Hit like. I see the people in the bushes. You know how you find out who's in the bushes? Buy subscriptions for people. And I'm not telling you to do that, but that's how it comes up. I just found that out. You know that, right? Stasia's in the house. I don't care that people are in the bushes. I just care about nefarious people. Guys, I was listening to the Gypsy Rose pretend podcast thing, right? I was listening to that. And I'm going to do a video on that because I liked his interview with Morbid because I feel like Morbid was telling the truth. And if he's not, he's at least very consistent about it because even privately, he's told me the same thing. Anyway, I just, the Gypsy Rose thing, I think he's put some of the FOIA phone calls, I guess, in at the end or the emails or whatever. He put some of that stuff in at the end. So at least he was fair in that way. But I think I'm really going to do a video on that because I thought that was pretty interesting. I was going to say I'll probably do it on another channel, but that's not fair, is it? Because this is the channel that we do that on. So we'll probably just do it on this channel. I've done some stuff, some Whitaker stuff on the other channel. We got, I forgot who I said hi to already. Joyful, Gnostic, Stasia, Kathleen, Lady Blue, Rochelle, My Belle. I always sing that. But I'm so grateful you guys are here like every day. And it, Jelly the best. Hey, how are you? I heard Morbid trying to say your name on a live stream. And he kind of did the same thing I did. We expect Jelly the best, Jelly the best. So that was funny. And it was funny. I think a lot of people do that. They expect that. And so now we're talking about dogs. Now look at this. Rainbow ribbons. Do, 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 do. So there's a lot of stuff going on. Ron's in the house. How you doing, Ron? Cool. It's nice to see you guys. Janelle, good morning. How are you? Good morning. And I love when you guys say hi to each other. That's cool. I love that. I love that. Knock, knock. That's Gnostic. Hey, Penelope's in the house. Carol Deering. How are you, Carol? Penelope, how's it going over there in Scotland? I think you're from Scotland. Sometimes I get that stuff wrong. I'm sorry. Happy birthday. Today's your birthday or today's Joyful's birthday? Joyful, is today your birthday? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. I want you to know Ryan Anderson would charge at least $20 for this. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, Joyful. What do you think of that? Howdy doody, sunshines of the world. We have Janae in the house. I love this. I love this. Okay, guys. All right. Well, there's quite a few of you here, and I don't want to keep you. Here's the thing: I don't want to keep you guys longer than an hour and a half. I think 2 hours is still too long, in my opinion. It's too long for me because when I read things, I especially have to lift my neck up, and it hurts because I have the progressive lenses. So and then also I got something being delivered. Not what you think. Yeah, it's not even being delivered to me, it's being delivered someplace else. So, let me just see if this person could do this for me. Um, hang on one second. Sorry, guys. All right. Okie dokie. Oh, Grace is in the house. Hey, sorry I missed you guys. I was just helping somebody out. Isn't that nice? I love it. Dragon approved. Oh my goodness, it's so many of you today. Thank you so much. I hope that I don't let you down. We're still trying to get the quirks out of or the kinks out. Well, Gypsy Rose coming to the rescue. I say that word. Ryan Anderson's right here too. We're trying to get the little issues out of it. Man, that was bad. You have a new phone trying to get to use it all. This programming is wild. Okay. Okay. So listen, guys, I've got a few things that we're gonna stick with. We're gonna do a Sophie thing because I like Sophie. You know what I mean? That's for me. That's for me. And thank you, Lady Blue. And I always want to put something about the Royals in there because I did have a lot of respect for the Queen. And I might put stuff up there that she's not gonna like, but and I've always liked the British culture, the what is it? What the pomp and what is it? The pomp and what? Uh, Sophie. Yeah, I know. I know she does, and that's important to talk about too. I know. God save the Queen, right? He did for a long time. Now is it God Save the King? I think Charles has come up to the plate. What do you guys think? You guys are here from the UK. It affects you a lot more than it affects us. I think I didn't think he would even be half the king he is, to be honest with you. I think he has shown up. Pomp and ceremony. Thank you very much. I miss the Queen too. That was a woman that worked from like 19 years old, 20 years old. We're talking about Sophie Cunningham from the WNBA, the women's basketball. And I'm not a basketball fan, guys, but I've been watching a lot. They're amazing. I mean, they are some talented players, and I've been watching some of the highlights of the games because I think that yeah, and Caitlin Clark, an amazing player. She honestly has brought in billions of dollars on her own. What an amazing athlete! These women deserve credit. Pomp and circumstance. Thank you so much. I almost said that, but I was like, circumstance, yeah. They like that, And hey, listen, when anybody got married, I woke up for it. I was there. I watched from beginning to end. So it's not new for me. I did stuff on the Queen a long time ago. Charles is too sick. Well, I'm talking about, I know he's ill, but I mean, I'm talking about, you know, uh, that he showed up for the throne. His mother wasn't giving it to him. I'll tell you what. She held on to that throne for about, I'm telling you, that woman worked while she was dead, like while she was laid out. I mean, what do they call it when you lay out there and then all the grandchildren stood? lay in God, I'm not English, can't you tell? I'm definitely long live King William gal. Yeah. My problem with William, I'm just going to tell you. I'm going to put it out there now, okay? Because I've been right about a few things, but I haven't said anything. So I think that William, at least when he was a child, was very jealous of Harry. And we saw that in video. I mean, we saw that in video. And I think he had like this entitled thing. Um, maybe not publicly, but I think he did among the people he felt comfortable with. So I believe a lot of the stuff that Harry wrote in his book. You know, I don't believe it at all, but I believe in a lot of the sibling rivalry shit that I believe. I believe. You know, listen, I would love for you guys to keep that. I don't think that's something that should be thrown away. Oh, no, 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 no. But I love Prince Edward too. He's a little goofy, huh? With his little television show, but there's nothing wrong with that. You know, to me, it was a failed show, but to me, it showed that, you know, they're very human, all of them, I think, especially Anne. Like, she's an amazing worker as well. She's like her mom. Lying in state. Thank you so much. I'm so stupid sometimes. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. You would know better than me. You would know better than me. I I look at it, well, they can't do things like that. Here's the thing. The monarchy will shame your ass, right? Don't you feel shamed by the monarchy? Like that's a moral thing. That's what I view the monarchy as, something like a moral. And the reason why is because Queen Elizabeth, at least as far as I know publicly, I mean, that was her first and foremost. That came before her family. We saw that. You know what I'm saying? It came before her death. We saw that. You know, she was just an amazing, um oh, no, 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 you're good, Marion. You're good, you're good. Good morning, good morning. You didn't come in here bumping coffee and spilling it on people, did you? You know? So, yeah, yeah. Okay, now you guys are talking about Meghan Markle. I don't know much about that. Honestly, I don't. I know that there's been a bunch of scrutiny about her. He seems happy with her. Look at my hair. He seems, pretty happy with her, doesn't he? Like I just saw them together. I want to wear a hat. Let me go get my hat, man. I know it looks. I guess I could do that, but I'd rather not do that. That's what happens when I don't blow dry my hair. All right. I could do that, but I'd rather be here with you guys. Can someone be stripped from being knighted or deemed a lady? Yes, of course they can, right? Of course they can. I think so. Right? Look at whatchamacallit. He's been stripped of his shit. Andrew, what do you say about that guy? That's a guy who thought he was the smartest guy in the room, right? Proved not so smart. All right, let me see. Let me see. All right. Let me see. Let me see. You guys like it when I sing to you? Oh, let me see. There's a message. Okay, thank you. All right, guys, let's go with Eugene had a baby girl on Monday. Eugenie had a baby girl on Monday. Ah, the king released the detail. Ah, that's awesome. Ah, that's awesome. Oh, wow. That's probably so he kind of slighted her, huh? Yeah. So Randy Andy, they knew. Randy Andy. The Queen, they and any place I've ever read or seen, he was definitely the favorite, right? Definitely the favorite. Um like the she didn't expect to. I agree. I agree. She didn't expect to be queen, did she? Right? She didn't expect that. And by the time she suspected it, it was done. I mean, that was it. Yeah, I told this person not to do it that way, but okie dokie. Hang on one second. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Oops, I did it again. All right, well, I don't know. Hang on, guys. I'm sorry. Uh, mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Hang on one second. Did you get that? All right, we're gonna go. The girls from Epstein Island said Andrew was weird and used puppets. No teddy bears? Come on, man. I thought he used teddy bears. The pic of Andrew in the car is wild with Chef's kiss. The picture of him when he was opening up the door and stupid enough to wave to the people when he was in Epstein's house after the guy was already convicted is stupid. Don't you? No? I think so. Puppets. Teddy bears. Teddy bears. Listen, if I'm insulting anybody from England when it comes to Andrew, or please just let me know. Please just let me know because I'm not trying to do that. I really am not trying to do that. I never had a problem with Andrew. I thought Andrew was you know, good fun people and nice to Diana, you know. All right, guys, you keep keeping me from everything here. Can we get on with our stuff? Let's go. Let's go, guys. We're going to start with Perez Hilton and I'm going to read this to you cuz well, that's what my job is here. So this is just from yesterday. Excuse me. Perez Hilton and our live streaming nightmare. So this is just quick little blip here. There is nothing that speaks more to our perma tabloid social environment than the advent of the live stream, which has allowed ordinary people to become both the celebrity and the paparazzi of their own lives. That's a lot, isn't it? That's a lot. That's by Brady Brickner Wood. Anyway, let's continue on. Perez Hilton informed pals he was no longer gay before shocking TikTok live stream hospitalization. Really? Let's see. He looks really good in this picture. I got to be honest with you. I think it's an older picture, but he looks really good. He hasn't looked really good. You know, I don't know. He's had a lot going on, I guess. Perez Hilton was reevaluating his sexual orientation in the days leading up to what his family called a severe mental health crisis, according to a new report. He was telling people he considered himself ex-gay. I don't know how you do that, but okay, ex-gay. One insider told Rob Shutter for his Naughty But Nice Substack on Tuesday, August 11th. He was very serious about it. This wasn't a joke or something he said once. He was telling people that he was no longer gay. The 49-year-old, whose real name is Mario Armando Lavendario Jr., was rushed to the hospital on August 4th after seemingly committing acts of self-harm in a disturbing TikTok live stream. His condition remains serious but stable. I heard he needs blood and he needs some surgery. His family said in an August 8th statement posted on his website, adding that his treatment and recovery will be long process. In the months leading up to the where are we going? Let's see. In months leading up to the incident, the celebrity blogger had spoken about his religion more often, even revealing in a June video posted on YouTube that God had told him to relocate from Las Vegas to his hometown of Miami. Sources told Shudder, the formerly proud LGBTQ plus voice who controversially outed multiple celebrities in his heyday, had become involved with conservative Christian communities. He had completely changed the way he talked about himself, another source told Shudder he was talking about his sexuality differently and saying that he had found a new path through his faith. Okay. Insiders told Shudder that Hilton's shift in thought is reminiscent of far-right commentator Milo, it's Greek, who embraced his Catholic faith in 2021 and declared himself as an ex-gay man. Okay. People around Perez were making the comparison privately, a source says. They saw someone moving away from the identity that had defined him publicly for decades. As In Touch previously reported, Hilton's mom and sister planned to seek custody of his 3 children who were present in the home just moments before their dad's breakdown amid his hospitalization. Okay, this is a feel-good thing here. Sorry, guys. Who's a good lady? Sizzle! How you doing, Sizzle? Anybody I'm missing here? There, Turtle. I miss Turtle. How you doing, Turtle? What's going on? I was reading. Wasn't paying attention to the chat. Reading. Jennifer Socoup, there she is. How you doing? It's nice to see everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here with me. There's quite a few of you here. Thank you. I'm going to do this. I think we're going to do it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And we're going to cover, different reports. And I'm still trying to tweak it. Or we'll say I'm trying to tweak it. Somebody's going to clip that. And they're going to manipulate that and say, Toddy tweaks online. You know that, right? That's going to happen. Here's a feel good, guys. Just want you guys to not give up, that there are good people in this world, and not so much for you, Marion Grubb, or Stasia, or Kathleen, or Jamie, or Janae, or Gutter Sniper, Ron, or anybody else in here, Diana, whomever. All of you. There's still good people in the world. You know how I know? Because I'm looking at their names right here in the chat. But there's, just to let you know, there's some more. Just to let you know, there's some more. Check this out.
Interaction between 2 sports fans was caught on video. Now, we've all seen videos of sporting events and fans getting rowdy.
You can check out this guy online. I don't know his name because it doesn't show.
But this is unlike anything I've ever seen.
Go there.
So this all went down at a Detroit Lions game in Detroit. You see a woman approach another fan.
Look, she's bothering this guy. Why? Why is she bothering this guy?
The 2 exchange words, and then the woman and
pops him in the face. No. It's a good video.
And her husband leave their seats. They come back 20 minutes later, and here's where things take a turn. The couple was later identified as Joel and Heather Mockimer from Grand Blanc, Michigan. So the couple...
They're all watching a baseball game, right? It's a baseball game, or is it a football game?
Was at the game, and seated in front of them is another fan wearing a Joe Dumars jersey. Everyone in this section is making fun of this guy because he has a basketball jersey on at a football game.
It's a football game, football.
So Heather approaches him. She asked him about the jersey.
Michelle,
and he said, "This is the only jersey that I have to represent Detroit." They talk a little bit more. Then she asked him who his favorite Lions player was. He pointed at her shirt.
Check it out.
Heather was wearing a shirt featuring Jahmyr Gibbs, who is her favorite player as well. They chat a little bit more, and Heather and Joel leave their seats. They come back a few minutes later. She taps him on the shoulder
and says, "Man, why are you still here?"
And this is what happens.
I want you guys to take a look at not only his face, but take a look at the face of the guy, his friend. Look at when he tells his friend what was given to him. Bought for him. I thought she was going to come back in another shirt and give him her shirt. But nope. They went and got him a real jersey at the ball game. You know how much that must have cost? Isn't that something? Isn't that something? Isn't that cool? Look at that. Those kids now have faith in the human race again. If they ever doubted it, they got it now. They will look at older people a different way because those young people there that we're looking at, those two boys, they're looking at mommy and daddy there, basically. You know, somebody their parents' age. Might not even be their parents' age, but you know what I'm saying? I mean, I think that that's very, very kind, very generous. And it's going to make a
So
lifelong
Heather and Joel
difference every single time that kid puts that jersey on. What a difference. Just, I mean, that's life changing. I think so. Am I making too much of a big deal about this? Am I getting all mushy? Because I think that that's life changing.
went and bought this guy a
Of course.
jersey of his favorite
Get
player
out of
to
here.
wear for the
Every
rest of the game.
show,
He was so
everybody.
thankful, as you can see from the clip, but it doesn't end there. The video is posted online, it goes viral, it
Watch.
catches the attention of the Lions organization. And the very next game, they bring Joel and Heather onto the field. They honor them for their generosity. They give them signed jerseys, and then they let them know that they're sending them to the Super Bowl.
Whoa, signed jerseys. Excuse me. And that's coconut water and being sent to the Super Bowl because they were generous and kind and thoughtful.
Now, this couple had no idea it would lead to this. They were
I
just
would
doing
buy you a
something kind
jersey if I had the money and you were there.
for somebody, and
And I
this is
was
how it
there.
always should be. Big shout out to Joel and Heather. Shout out to this other guy. This was such
Tell me that wasn't super cool, right? Tell me that's not
a
super
dope video
cool.
to me.
All right, now we're going to talk about Kendra Scott. Now listen up, guys. Listen up, okay? Yeah, I did a couple of videos on Ryan Anderson this morning already on this channel. If you guys want to check him out, I snarked the hell out of him, and I snarked the hell out of Eric Carroll over there on Everybody Has a Story to Tell. Toddy One Skip. I just get to the point. I just don't like people like that. Anyway, Kendra Scott here. We talked about her case yesterday. I brought it to your attention, and you guys were like, "Oh, a lot of you didn't know about the case." This is the African American woman who was working at FedEx, right? In the middle of the night, and she sees what we heard. What we heard was yeah, she sees somebody in her house or go into her house, a male go into her house while she's working the overnight shift at FedEx where her daughter is, and she goes home and she kill him. She kills him, right? KLS. But there's more to the story, just like we thought there might be. So let's just hear. I got a real small clip and a little bit of a larger clip, all right?
This mom's been charged with murder, but the guy that she killed, he was a man that she found hiding under her 13-year-old daughter's bed. You've got Memphis police saying this woman's daughter snuck this man, 20-year-old Rodarius Morton, into the house around 1 a.m. through the back door. And at this point, the mom, Kendra
I don't know who this fella is, but I kind of like the way he sings when he talks.
Scott, not actually home, right? She's at work, but also according to neighbors, there are other kids.
I haven't talked about Damon Darling. I just found him. And he got banned from Walmart, I heard. So I was going to do a story about him being banned from Walmart. And it's a universal ban. It's not that he's only banned in his place of Ohio, I believe, is where he's at, right? He's supposedly universally banned from all Walmarts.
As young as 2 years old in the house while all this is happening. And then 30 minutes later, you have Scott showing up and seemingly she just knows that he's in there. She's reportedly pounding on the front door saying, "Who's at my house?" She's holding the gun. And apparently Scott had warned her daughter before that if I see a boy in my house, I will put a hole in his ass. And then she did exactly that. You ever find?
Okay. So she must have thought that there's something going on here. You know what I'm saying? She must have thought that there was a possibility of that with her daughter because she threatened it. But guys, I got the impression that this man was hiding under her daughter's BED, right? I just randomly spell things now for you guys. That he was like hiding there and that she kind of freaked out and shot, right? That's not what happened. He was hiding there. She got him out of there and he was already out of the house and he was SHOT in the back of the head. out the porch area. So she could have kicked him out and locked the door and called the cops. I don't know. Like we said, there'd be things that we're going to talk about with this, right? So let's just listen. Again, I have a larger clip.
Finding Morton under the bed, he runs to leave, bolts out the front door, and that is when Scott shoots him from the back on the porch, killing him. And you got her now charged with first-degree murder because the cops say that does not count as.
Listen, we do this. This is definitely something that we're keeping when it comes to this morning show. There's always going to be fun stuff that's going to be peppered in here and good feeling stuff. You know, we're always going to have something about the Royals, like I said, and some of the stuff's fun. I mean, some of that stuff is really fun. You know, usually Prince Louis is very fun, so we like him a lot. And there's always going to be, you know, somebody doing something good. I'm hoping that we'll always find something like that will bring joy to us and keep giving us faith in humanity while we're going through horrible stories, you know.
Self-defense. For Tennessee, they have the Castle Doctrine, which protects someone from being criminally prosecuted if they use force against an intruder.
Castle Doctrine. Okay, so if they use force against an intruder, kind of like the was it that law in Florida, the standby something, you know which one, and stand your ground law. But he was out of the house. That's the problem here. She did get him out of the house apparently without any issue, and he wasn't facing her. So I don't know.
As long as that person is violently threatening them. But also, if you look online, this case has really divided the internet. Some saying, yeah, she went too far, she could have just called the cops, but others saying she was completely justified, arguing this was a grown man sneaking his way into a house with multiple young girls, and she didn't know what he was doing to them behind locked doors. But as far as Scott, she reportedly told police.
Well, the problem was he wasn't sneaking in. He wasn't sneaking in, right? She invited him. From what we understand, the 13-year-old daughter invited him over, and you know, we don't know if she told him that she was 13, and he also, you know, his mental capacity wasn't of a 20-year-old man. You know, he was slow.
Police, I did what I had to do. And we're gonna have to wait to see if the charges stick because this is first degree, and so prosecutors are arguing that it was premeditated. And so you can expect that they're gonna use Scott's past comments against her. But then Scott's defense, at the very least, is gonna be arguing that this was a heat of the moment shooting. But hey, let me know your reactions in those comments, share to spread the word, and follow to stay in the loop. This mom's been charged with murder, but the guy that she killed, he was a man that she found hiding.
I don't know why I got this twice. My apologies. Here, we should go here. This podcast, I want to give attention to because I was listening to it in the background. And I thought, I like his approach.
This is going to trigger some people, so trigger warning. Because when we see cases like this, we automatically jump and defend people in these situations. We say, man, listen, we understand that there's laws. We understand thou shalt not kill. But there's just certain circumstances where even the whole community stands up and says, free that man. In this particular...
This is Sorry It's True podcast. Okay?
Good case, it's a mother that allegedly shot and killed a man that was underneath the bed of her daughter. Okay? So when I first saw the headline and when I first played this video that I'm going to play for you right now, I was just like everybody else. And I was like, free
this
woman.
Monkeys. How you doing?
I still feel like free this woman. Let me be clear. But I'm also going to pull up something after this video to show why I believe she's in a lot of legal trouble. Okay? But let's watch the video.
Of the head, in the back of the head.
Video first.
New developments in the case of a Memphis mother accused of shooting and killing a man she says she found hiding under her daughter's bed. In court this morning, Kendra Scott, who is charged with...
Stasia, I'm a little concerned now. The first is the baby at church. I'm a little concerned now.
First-degree murder had her bond set at $100,000.
And let me just tell you, she never said anything like this about the baby at church. She just said every time the baby cries that the baby's a little uncomfortable. So it's just a joke.
Not to have contact with the victim's family. Memphis police say when they initially arrived to the scene last week, the victim, Rodarius Morton, was found dead near the home's porch after he had been shot in the back of the head. WREG Shay Arthur is live tonight after speaking with a former teacher of Morton's and what she wants people to know about him. Shay.
Now, we saw this in the last interview, the last thing that I showed up with the teacher here. I knew him.
Hi, Stephanie. Yeah, she says this case could have been handled so many other ways, not ending with a 20-year-old man being killed.
Yep.
Perkins says she's the former middle school teacher of Rodarius Morton, who Memphis police say was shot and killed early last Thursday morning in the Walker Homes neighborhood. She said Morton had learning disabilities.
Now, mind you, he had learning disabilities, but so did she. I heard she did as well.
He was special needs, and I was his special needs teacher.
She described him as soft-spoken and respectful, shocked by his death.
Coffee, I got water.
Very, very hurt, because the young man that I knew that most people don't know, based off of this story, they don't know him personally like I did.
In court paperwork, an underage girl told police Morton came to her house early Thursday morning through a back door. Her mother, Kendra Scott, then showed up banging on the door, yelling, "Who was at my house?" Scott says she went inside and found Morton hiding under the girl's bed. Police.
Okay, so, but that's not where she got him.
Say as Morton was leaving the home unarmed, he was shot somewhere near the front porch. Detectives discovered
we don't judge about baths and stuff because we do virtual here.
He had a gunshot wound to the back of his head. The girl told police her mother has told her in the past if she discovered a boy in the home, he would be faced with violence.
People look at this and they say, well, he should have been in that situation in the first place.
And I agree. I do
She agrees.
agree. I do not condone his actions as going and mingling with a 13-year-old. However, when you're cognitively not 20, what do you expect? And then I found out last night that from his sister, no one knew that he was gone away from the house.
Perkins believes Morton thought the girl was older and didn't understand the law.
I just wish she wouldn't have never shot him. That's it.
Yeah, and I kind of think that too because, well, because he was outside and leaving.
There were so many opportunities for her to
She could have called the cops on him.
and think. So many different ways that this could have had a different outcome. So many different ways.
Exactly,
Call
not
police.
my monkeys.
If you got a gun, hold him there to gunpoint till the police gets there.
Now, see, that I understand. That I understand. Maybe you don't want to do that, but he's out of the house, so you've already let him go out of the house. So,
Yeah, and Stephanie, Scott is due back here in court next month. For your news leader, we're live downtown tonight. Shay Arthur, WREG.
no, Grace, his family didn't know he was gone.
Okay, so we see why there's some complexity. Okay, you want to assume on the
Everybody's
surface,
sleeping.
a mother, a father, in their own home.
Everybody's sleeping in bed, thinking everybody's safe and shit, not knowing that one of their people is outside of the house, and their life's about to end or did end.
Defending their underage 13-year-old daughter, even if it's
like Eric
not
Carroll
underage, even if
with
it's another
that
adult,
Nat
right? Just defending your
situation.
family in your own home. You know, if you can, this is in Texas too, right? If you could legally have a gun in your home, like people start to scratch their head and say, when the fuck can I use it? You know, like I got a guy that's under the bed of my daughter and I'm classifying this person as an intruder. When the hell can I use my gun? Okay. But you see somebody that knows the man that passed away. One thing that they threw out there is that this man had mental issues. Now, I'm not trying to say that if I'm in my home and somebody breaks into my home or enters my home unknowingly and I don't want them there.
Well, there's a difference between mental issues and being slow. Because mental issues can be enraged anger. That would be considered a mental issue, right? But I don't think that this is that, I think that they were talking about his mental capacity.
And I'll catch them,
Yeah, but by law, you're allowed to, I think, over the age of 11 or 12. She was 13. And they did have cameras in the home. I think that there was a younger sister there as well. So, I don't know.
Underneath a bed, my daughter's bed, or the guest room bed, whatever, right?
It's hard because how do you afford it? I mean, how do you afford it? The woman's probably working overnights because she's getting more money, So
to be my responsibility. I'm speaking in general and respectfully. I don't know if it's supposed to be my responsibility to quantify that person's mental state. Are you under this bed in my house and you don't belong here because you high? Are you cuckoo? Do you have a couple screws loose? Are you intentionally here trying to rob me?
And I agree. Who's going to sit there and try to figure that out?
Is it personal? Is it not personal? Do I need to process all of this shit? You know what I'm saying? So I don't like the responsibility of when you're in a defensive situation to have to equate whether somebody is mentally there or not. Because technically you're not mentally there all the way if you're fucking high or drunk out of your mind.
And you're not mentally there in a situation like that. Because you've got, things are going through your head. Your adrenaline's high.
You go rob a bank or rob a store, right? So there's a couple details also that was said there that muddies the water. And let's bring up this article to further hone in on them. Why I think she's going to have some problems, right? She's going to have some problems.
Online.
Okay. Mom 36, once again, charged with, get out of here. Get this for that title out of it. Charged with murder after allegedly shooting and killing a man she found hiding under her daughter's bed. All right, let's get to some of these details. A mother in Tennessee has been charged with first degree.
It lets you leave it there, right? As if that's where it happens, but it doesn't.
First. And possession of a firearm after allegedly shooting and killing a man who was hiding under her daughter's bed. What's up with the possession of a firearm? Do you even need a premises license or a carry license in Texas to have a firearm? Why is it saying that she's got that charge as well? But that's a different story.
Maybe she.
Officers responded to a report of a shooting in the 3000 block of Travis.
But she didn't call. Remember,
1:40 in the morning.
Did she call? She did not call. She did not call, and that says something. Maybe she didn't think about calling. I mean, I would think of, I'm leaving out the door. I'm telling people at work, I got to go. There's somebody in my house. Somebody's calling the cops, right?
All right. This is AM time, almost 2:00 in the morning, per an arrest affidavit obtained by people that was submitted by the Memphis Police Department, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. Upon arriving at the scene, police found an unresponsive man lying in the front yard. So I got two things so far. We got
he was in the front yard. So was the spent bullet. That I think was on the porch. This is where the problem comes in.
2:00 in the morning. Why? How? What's going on with that? Front yard. If you found him under the bed, why is he in the front yard? Okay, some people might say, well, maybe he got shot in the house or under the bed or whatever in the bedroom, made his way out to the front yard and collapsed. They're going to talk about a gunshot to the back of his head. I mean, we rarely hear about headshot
and the spent casing
shot victims walking around for that long. I can understand if we see something like a stomach shot or hitting
not unless you're a zombie,
vital organ and people bleeding out. But I don't want to overassume. It's not like we have the autopsy report in front of us, right? But that still is going to cause investigation. All right, so let's keep going. The man who was tentatively identified, we heard the man's name, was pronounced dead at the scene. His age has not been released. Police then spoke to resident Kendra Scott, who told officers that she came home and saw a dude under my kid's bed. Okay, so that's the statement that she gave. Her lawyer
said, I did what I had to do.
Shouldn't have said anything, but she gave a statement. All right, she said she came home. 2:00 in the morning. Your 13-year-old daughter was home alone.
See this spot right here on your liver? Nobel Prize-winning scientists call it a clathrin-coated pit. I just call it a cholesterol pit.
I don't know what the fuck I call it, but it shouldn't be there.
Let's continue. Scott, who's 36, then told police, I did what I had to do. A lawyer is still going to say you're talking too much. According to the affidavit, officers also spoke to a neighbor who said he came outside after hearing a gunshot. One gunshot, then. He said he saw a male who had been shot near the front porch of Scott's home, and Scott standing in the front yard. I shot him while holding a gun. Okay. Police spoke to a juvenile who was allegedly in.
I agree, Stasia. I agree.
In the home at the time of the incident.
Listen, I know a lot of kids that stayed home alone at 13 years old. I agree. She had cameras in her house. I would think, man, I'll tell you what, I'd have cameras in my house if I had a kid, you know what I'm saying? And had to work at night. I would have cameras in the house. I wouldn't have it in my kid's room, but I'd have it everywhere leading there. I certainly as fuck would, and they'd know. There's a camera in the front door. There's cameras all over this house. And the first time they get shut off, y'all are going to get, I don't care who it is, you all are going to get in trouble for it. That's right. You could be grounded a year.
That has to be the 13.
I don't know, Jonah. It seems like she threatened the kid that if she ever found a man in the house, this is what she'd do. Ever find a dude in the house, this is what I'm going to do.
But let's say there's another juvenile in the home along with the 13-year-old. That one makes sense. That's not in any of the reports. That has to be the 13-year-old. Okay.
Well, I don't know.
The daughter. The juveniles whose name has not been released told police that they had invited Morton into the home about 1:20 or 1:30 a.m.
So she invited him
inside by the juvenile.
Yes, is what
per the affidavit. The juvenile then told police that Scott, the mother, arrived home and began yelling, "Who's at my house?"
Yeah, so this is the daughter telling on the mom.
This is being told by allegedly the daughter or the juvenile in the home. Like, the mother comes home, a guy that was invited in, moms are just upset that there's a guy in the crib, but he was invited.
It's the Kendra Scott case.
In. Allegedly. Okay. The juvenile told police that they were afraid of Scott, who had a gun in her hand and had previously said that if she sees a boy in my house, I will put a hole in his ass per.
Now, why did she say that?
Affidavit. Now you're painting a picture of premeditation. If I ever catch a boy in my house,
maybe that's the premeditation charge. Yeah,
I'm putting a hole in him. It's almost like a protective father or mother that doesn't want their daughter to be dating or sexually active.
That is.
And then imagine if you.
That's bingo. That's what she is. That's the mother right there. The mother was the one that did that. That shot the kid, the man. The man of challenged mental capacity.
Protecting your 13-year-old daughter as a mother or a father from not dating too soon or being with boys too soon. You know how we shit. Look at Bad Boy scene. You know what I'm saying? Martin and Will come.
I know you're not going to believe this, but I was thinking about you last night, and not in a funny way, CJB, though you're a funny guy. Guys, if you don't know CJB comedy, he does those parody songs. Very funny. Please check him out.
Into the door.
Check him out.
My daughter home.
I hope
that type of parent.
Most
parents
it's good
don't want their 13-year-old daughter activated in certain ways at that age. Now imagine how furious you may be if you come home at 2:00 in the morning and see a nigga under a bed and you're.
Now that's not a cool word. I don't co-sign that word. I don't care what color you are. I didn't know that word was coming up. So sorry about that.
Daughter's there. We're not hearing nothing about the daughter being attacked. Or no, I'm not hearing none of this. I'm not hearing no forced entry. We're hearing allowed in. Mom comes home 2 a.m. Already has in her mind, if I ever catch a boy in this house, I'm putting a hole in him. That's premeditation. This is not looking good for her. The juvenile went on to say that Morton gathered his things and left the home, at which point they heard a gunshot.
So I told you he left the home. Thank you, Jamie. CJB, guys, right here.
So that's where I questioned earlier. Did you get shot in the back of the head in the house and then like limp your way and then die on the front lawn?
Nope.
The juvenile, allegedly the daughter, is telling the police that came to the scene that the mom's probably. It sounds like the picture being painted like mom's got the gun, get out, gathering your shit, get your jacket, get your sneakers, boom, 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 boom. And then when you get to the front.
No, man, you're good, CJB.
He's getting shot there.
We love you here. Big fan of you here.
There's one more piece that really fucks this up. Scott has since been charged with first-degree murder and employing a firearm during the commission of a dangerous felony. In statement to people, Scott's attorney, Blake Borland, said the incident started with the worst nightmare of any parent and claimed that the juvenile involved was a 13-year-old girl. Defense is going to have to hop on the savior of a 13-year-old girl.
That's the thing. Exactly. I agree with this fella here. Absolutely. 1,000,000% right. They're going to have to keep going on that. And she did have, a few of you asked if she was, or he asked. So they did do a RAPE kit on her. You know what I'm saying? Thanks, man. I love those little things, those little hearty hearts. Yeah. So she did do the, there was an RAPE kit. I'm not sure he was dressed or anything. What gas station?
Started with the worst nightmare of a parent coming home and somebody being in the home with their teenager. One of the key questions in the case will be whether anyone could act rationally in this circumstance. Borland added, Scott is currently being held without bond for first.
Well, no, we know that she got out. It was $100,000. It was $100,000 bond, and you pay 10% of that.
Arraignment hearing is good. Okay. So the last piece that I'm saying, I think there's a big problem with is it so far come in public that the man has a headshot wound to the back of his head.
Yep.
Back of your head, in your back, rear of your legs, in your ass. You're talking about somebody not facing you.
That's leaving.
And it doesn't matter what state you live in. If the shooting investigation looks like either A, you're not in danger, like somebody is fleeing from you, or they're back, or they're running away or walking away, or B, even worse, an execution. That's what the JR dude, All-Star JR, is looking at right now after his what everybody thought was the defensive player of the year in Detroit.
Yeah, I don't know.
It looks like an execution attempt of Ben 10 when you stand over him and kick him and spit on him and all this shit. Right now, here's a case you're talking about. What the juvenile already said puts this girl in a lot of trouble. Puts this woman, this mother, in a lot of trouble. Puts her in hot water.
In the scene,
right?
at the scene,
the attorneys of a lifetime and have to get that juvenile statements recanted somehow.
We didn't know that.
I assume, because that stuff needs to come off the table as far as the picture that's being painted for this to not look like a murder. Maybe involuntary manslaughter, something, but first degree right now.
Listen, he's a little behind on some things. Some things he's all right about. So we're going to get past him because we know that the mom is out now. The mom is out of prison or out of jail now. Thank you so much. Thank you. I will get coffee. Thank you so much, Not My Monkeys. So we do know that she's out of jail now on a $100,000 bond. That would have been about $10,000, I believe. Thank you so much. That was really nice of you.
Some other got problems with this case as it's being presented thus far.
Okay, so the Royals. Here we go. We're going to have a little bit of fun with our friend Prince Louis. Let's go. There she is, the beautiful queen. She can't keep track. $10,000. I get it. Yeah. He does a little dance. He's got it grooving on. There's music playing in the background here, so I had to take it down. He's having a great time. He doesn't mind. He doesn't mind being popular. Look at him. He's telling his sister. Every place you take this guy, he's going to entertain himself. He's one of those kids. He's going to get a few other people involved as well. You got to love him. He's got the moves. A little bit of jazz hands there. Isn't that, you put your left foot in, you put your left foot out. Isn't that something like that? So look, his mom, that's the Princess Catherine right there, right? Listen, that's going to be that woman right there. She's going to be princess. She's going to be queen. Will she be queen? Somebody from the UK, can you tell me when William goes and gets the throne and becomes king, will she be queen? Because, I mean, that's a disrespectful thing to do to the future queen. She's trying to tell him, stop. Look, Mom! Here's my question. Who do you think in the family does that? Which royal member of the family is he mimicking when he does that? That's what I want to know. Queen consort. Okay. The queen, kind of like what Camilla is now, right? Isn't she the queen consort, which nobody wanted her to be? Look. He puts his head down. He's behaving. I don't know what's so great about it. But there he is. He's singing to the world. He doesn't care who's watching him. He's on stage. There he is. Oh, boy. Look. He wanted to get his mom involved with some dance moves there. He's a cutie pie, isn't he? We like him. There he goes. He's helping Mom. He's helping her. There. Wait. Up. Yeah, there you go. Now, guys, we're going to talk about Sophie's Fury. And then we're going to get into, I think, the Lindsay Clancy case. And there's a new case that I'm just going to read about. Okay? So this is Sophie's Fury right now. And those that don't know, Sophie Cunningham.
Upgraded to a flagrant 2. The defensive foul.
So there is a flagrant foul, which means an intentional foul that was to hurt somebody, and it did.
on Dejanay
But she's a survivor, Sophie
Carrington
Cunningham.
has been upgraded to a flagrant foul penalty 2.
And they're saying that they're attacking Sophie, especially because she stood up and said that she doesn't think transgender athletes should be in a field that they weren't biologically born in. Now she has every right to say that, and I think that is I think 100%. What's going on with you, buddy? I think that there's nothing wrong with what she said. Nothing at all wrong with what she said. In the last video we put up, we showed there was a swimmer, right, that had just recently had sex change. There was so much muscle, it's completely unfair. Karen, Lisa, how are you?
Since there's wind-up, impact, and follow-through, high potential for injury, players in a vulnerable position. Since the basket was successful, Sophie Cunningham will receive
So she'll be Queen Catherine? I hope she does make Queen.
2 free throws to make 1.
Okay, so that's her. And she's done a lot of standing up, and people are giving her shit for it. But I don't know. I think she'll be all right. Yeah, she risked her career about this, but I ain't mad at her. She's a player here, and she's one of the players that brings in a lot of people too.
There's wind up, there's follow through, there's potential for injury. The player's in a vulnerable position. And so Dejanay Carrington, who had been off to an incredible start, is now ejected from the game.
The single most explosive moment of the WNBA season did not just halt a basketball game, but completely shattered the institutional trust of an entire professional league. What erupted on the court between the Indiana Fever and the Chicago Sky was a targeted physical strike.
Look at these ladies. You don't see the guys doing this, do you?
Followed by an unprecedented digital warfare campaign. Fans and analysts were left completely stunned as a violent foul instantly escalated into coaching betrayals and severe officiating chaos. The suffocating tension in the arena reached a boiling point as 2 fierce rivals collided in a battle for dominance.
Hey, Dejanay Carrington went to the locker room and tweeted,
Maybe upgraded, I think, to a flagrant.
White privileged.
And it wasn't about white privilege at all.
How in the hell
I agree,
is this
Jeff
white privilege when you
I agree 1,000,000% with her. Absolutely
assaulted a player? Sophie didn't touch you. How is this a race issue? Make it make sense. Because
that has nothing to do with race. She grabbed the girl's neck.
I am definitely confused here, guys. I mean, I am hella confused. How is this a race issue, bro? And then not only that, Sophie Cunningham speaks on the matter. So immediately after the game.
So Sophie says, hey, listen, I did that, and I did it. And I got kicked out of the game, and I wore it because somebody went after Caitlin, right? Is that her name? Her name's Caitlin. What's her last name? It's a CC. Cook, is it? Clark, Caitlin Clark. So somebody goes after her, and nobody, and she gets fouled out. So Sophie takes it upon herself and goes after the player, and Sophie gets kicked out of the game for a flagrant foul. And she says, okay, that's fine. I did it. That's fine.
Yeah, I know the reporters wasted no time catching up with the sophster. And a lot of stuff did happen, and I did forget about
During the opening quarter of this high-stakes showdown, the Indiana Fever sought to establish physical dominance early against their rivals. Sophie Cunningham secured the basketball in transition and accelerated.
Who lost the job? Who was the one that lost the job?
Accelerated down the floor on a fast break layup opportunity. Cunningham had firmly established herself throughout the season as the undeniable enforcer and physical protector of her roster. Trailing closely behind her on the fast break was Chicago Sky guard Dejanay Carrington, who closed the gap with frightening speed and dangerous intent.
Yeah, so she said they gave us the same explanation. And when you mix that in with what the referee said even transpired in the first place, once again.
Yeah, she intentionally seeked out the official.
She intentionally, Caitlin Clark intentionally seeked out an official and used
You were backwards to them. Did you know they were there in that moment?
And through the forearm.
And through a forearm. So Caitlin intentionally, that's a wild accusation, by the way, not accidentally, intentionally ran in and seeked out an official and threw a forearm when you can clearly see in real time that Caitlin Clark was literally hip bumped by Natasha Howard while she was mobile. You guys know when you're
absolutely
running, you are in a vulnerable position. Any slight push or anything can.
But I mean, I've heard bad things about the coach, that the coach doesn't support these players either. So I don't know.
Really exaggerate your trajectory and where you're headed.
So clearly was a foul.
Like,
so that the other woman had her arm like they were dating each other. So you can't do that. Finally, she turns around and I was like, what the fuck? You going to kiss me now or what? You bought me dinner? What's going on?
Paul, how is that a forearm extension? Can somebody please let me know, how is this a forearm extension? How is this a forearm extension? Is this a forearm extension to you guys? If anything, that's a backhand extension. But this referee wouldn't know that. I'm telling you, man, this target on CeCe's back is clear as day. But anyways, Caitlin Clark already knew what was going on. As I said, she was a little too confident right here. President Clark, somebody must have told her something. This was my reaction to it. I'm on the bottom right if you can't tell.
Another technical foul. I know that can lead to another suspension.
Of course, Kelsey
thoughts on what happened?
She said I ran into her. I've already watched it on the tape, so we'll let the league decide. But it wasn't intentional or anything. So I'm hoping it's getting rescinded, Holly.
And nothing was said. Nothing was said.
Is that crazy or not? Man, this is these ladies' careers. I don't understand. A lot of times women can act a lot worse.
She said it wasn't intentional.
As Cunningham elevated toward the rim to finish the play, Carrington delivered a sickening full-force hit directly across Cunningham's head and neck. The brutal impact violently knocked Cunningham out of midair, slamming her hard onto the hardwood court as her layup dropped through the net. This was the exact moment standard athletic play dissolved into dangerous chaos. The violence of the impact shocked everyone in attendance, leaving the entire arena frozen in disbelief.
Look at that. Look at that.
I hope she's done.
That's from like another universe, right? Isn't she? She's excellent.
But at the end of this season, I can't believe, I don't care if Dejanay Carrington played for you in the past. Sophie Cunningham, Caitlin Clark, they are in your locker room right now. And you are.
Yeah, I think he's talking about the coach.
Defending Dejanay Carrington. We're going to compare what you had to say, Stephanie White, to the fans, what they had to say about Dejanay Carrington calling this white privilege. Nasty work, man. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit the bell notification, like the video. That'd be greatly appreciated. We got to get into it, man. Stephanie Dingbat White, bonehead. The lady has no idea what she's doing. She's in over her head. She's way over her head when it comes to this job. She needs to go back to being head coaches of teams that nobody really gives a damn about. And it's that simple. Take a listen to Stephanie White defending Dejanay Carrington. This is disgusting. If I'm Sophie Cunningham, I'm pissed. My mouth was bleeding. She tried to
that was a direct attack on her. So
take my head off. And you at the podium talking about, oh, you don't think it was on purpose. What?
And also there was, for Steph, there was Sophie's flagrant foul from Dejanay. Just what was your reaction to that? Just your thoughts on what happened?
Yeah, I mean, look, it was a hard foul.
Okay.
I don't think that Dejanay intentionally came out to get her across the neck.
And if you see, like, you can see the look, if this is the one that I think of, you can see the look on Caitlin, who's sitting to our right, her left. And she doesn't believe that for a second.
What are you talking about?
She doesn't believe that for a second. Anyway, you can see it right there. You see her being pulled back. You see that. You guys, if you
from the hardwood court in a state of visible fury. She
come on, man.
Charged directly toward Carrington and delivered an aggressive shove before players and officials frantically intervened. Teammates desperately held both athletes back to prevent a full-scale bench-clearing brawl on live now.
So we saw that, and they're trying to say some bullshit about it. All right, guys. So we don't need to go through all this. We're going to go right here. This is a news story I want to share with you guys. I do want to see if you guys are all right, though. Give me 1 second. Because, yeah, this is a news story I want to share with you guys. I'm going to have to read that. But I want to come over here and say, hey, see what's going on in the chat and stuff. Women shouldn't have to compete against bio men. I agree. Even the ref said that Sophie was good. You guys see my shirt, my Toddy One Skip shirt? Can you see it? They're in the store, all different colors. A few of you have gotten them and sent me pictures. Don't believe what you see with your own eyes. What are you talking about? I believe it. I believe in the best of both worlds. I haven't had stuff like this happen in sports. I'm telling you, man, these women are brutal. I was just watching some of them play softball, like professional softball. Man, that wasn't fucking any kind of future when I was a kid, man. I could have played professional football for women. I'm not even joking. I was good. I also could have played professional softball or baseball. I was that good too. But they didn't have that shit for women. That really sucks. Thank you, Just Jen. It's nice to see you. How you doing? It's nice to see you. Guys, we only have a couple more stories here. We should finish within the hour and a half deadline here that I have on myself so that I could it's just, I just think 2 hours is too long. So we'll go with it. All right, let's go. So our hacks are, I got to bring this up. So I won't be reading from the chat. This is from NPR. Our hacks of U.S. water facilities, a new front in the Iran war. So I've heard of this before. This is just from today, 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. On a recent Monday morning in Brom, Minnesota, a local water operator made an unsettling discovery. The pump at the treatment plant wasn't working, threatening the flow of water to people's homes. While investigating the root cause, crews took the plant offline, and the city urged Brom's, I guess that's how you pronounce it, 1,700 or so residents to conserve water while they drew on a backup supply stored in a local tank. It only took a couple of hours for the workers to restore the flow after taking manual control of the pump. The self-proclaimed homemade pie capital of Minnesota still hosted its annual Pie Day celebration at the Park Cafe just days later. Hang on, it's cable news. Just days later. But what Brom officials quickly learned after connecting with Minnesota State IT teams was that they were not alone in the outages. The cause was a coordinated cyber attack against industrial technology nationwide, and cybersecurity experts and federal officials suspecting Iran may be to blame. It's nothing new. Adversaries, including Iran, have been targeting U.S. critical infrastructures for years to steal data or cause disruptions. Once inside, they can ransom the data to make money or threaten access to and trust in critical resources, from water and power to transportation and their bank accounts. That's right. Everything's connected to the internet in one way or another. I've said that if they wanted to hurt us, all they have to do is flip a fucking switch. Everything's connected in the internet one way or another. Nate George, the mayor of Brom, told NPR in an interview, it's not Brom in particular that's being targeted. It's the internet access points and the vulnerable technology. George, a U.S. Air Force reservist, continued. While the hackers failed to compromise the water supply, they succeeded in... This shit's scary, right? They succeeded in inspiring headlines and provoking uncertainty. And the scope, scale, and real-world impacts of the attacks, like the one in Brom, have been remarkable, even to the experts. I can't recall a time when there's been this many targets at once with operational impact. That's horrible, said Rob Lee, the co-founder and CEO of Dragos, cybersecurity firm focused on industrial technology. Lee told NPR he's aware of the victims of the recent spate of attacks outside the water sector, as critical infrastructure operators tend to rely on the same technology. It's something Lee has been warning about for years. This is pretty significant, Lee said, but they're not going to do anything about it because they don't. Local and federal officials are looking to get their arms around what happened, help critical infrastructure operators secure their systems, reassure the public, and prepare for the future for more than 150,000 water and waste water treatment systems in the U.S. There's 150,000 of them, because the next wave of attacks could be worse. It appears this is a shot in the dark, and you're too late. Across the bow for Iran, from Iran. Jake Braun, the former White House acting principal deputy national cyber director during the Biden administration, told NPR. Timeline between July 26 and July 28th, several local authorities in Minnesota let citizens know about problems at community water plants from Brom to Maple Plain, Michigan, or Minnesota, I'm sorry, where officials declared a brief state of emergency before determining that the immediate threat to public health, safety, and welfare has been addressed. Cities and towns across the country began to join their ranks. In Clayton County outside Atlanta, local officials issued a brief boil water advisory after a pump station failure was detected in the middle of the night. There were other outages in New Jersey and Michigan. That's a lot at one time. You guys gotta figure out. That's something, isn't it? I don't want to keep reading this because it's like 54 pages. And I actually have to turn on the air conditioning because I'm dying right now. So give me a second and I'll be right back. You could read it. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. All right, let me see. Sorry about that, guys. We just can't put too much dependence on cybersecurity. I know there's an eclipse today. It's a very scary world. Very, very scary world. I agree. Hello. All right. So, you guys could check this out. It's basically talking about, what could happen. I'm not trying to scare anybody, but, we are at risk. We're at risk with everything online. I hate to tell you. People say, I'll keep cash on you. Okay. But you still gotta, people don't know what to do with cash anymore. I'll be honest with you. So anyway, let's continue on. Told you it was 54 pages. I was like, yeah, I'm going to stop reading that. I knew I wasn't going to read the whole thing because it's repetitive too. You can check it out. It's on NPR. If you got a curiosity, you can check it out. You guys want to go get something to drink real quick? You can. Because we're going to get right into Lindsay Clancy. Because a few of you have said to me, Virginia, Carolina Pickers, how are you? A few of you were really loud in the chat yesterday saying, Toddy, we think maybe Lindsay Clancy's husband had something to do with it. Well, Radiant Brit talks a little bit about that too. So I figured we'd watch this, and I think we're going to end it with this. I think this, and there might be one fun thing or something after that. We are destroying the planet. You're right. Turtle. We live in a scary world, 100%. You're right. Danny, you think we live in a scary world? All right, let's go. Lindsay Clancy.
If y'all don't remember, before the trial started, Lindsay's case seemed kind of cut and dry. I mean, it's like either she did it, she didn't do it, either she was in a psychosis, she wasn't in a psychosis.
The last place I worked at, we stopped taking cash when COVID came in, and everything went to credit cards, everything.
But since the trial has started,
I liked it better that way. I don't like being responsible for cash, especially when you're sharing registers and stuff.
There are some legitimate questions being asked. I mean, some people believe that Lindsay did not do what she's being accused of doing.
That's right. Jameson doesn't think so, right, Jamie? How many in the chat think that Lindsay's husband had something to do with this? Because I didn't know anything about it till you guys were like, Toddy. I agree, Auntie. But I got news for you, Auntie. We live in a divisive world right now. Half the people, at least a third of the people, the really loud motherfuckers, yeah, they're saying shit. I am one of those that think Patrick did it. Okay. Who do you think did it, Danny? I wasn't there. Okay. A defunct SpaceX Falcon. I heard about that. I heard of Into the Moon. leaving, what was it, like a 60 something meter something, but then they excused it by saying something like that hits the moon every day. Remember that? I like Radiant Brit too. I like her as well.
Doing at all, and some people even believe that
your girls are watching this, Turtle. So are we. We're watching this now too.
Patrick, Lindsay's husband, yeah, that guy, played a much bigger role in what happened.
Everyone's finding out that Patrick, her husband, is remarried. What?
And get this, I was literally up at my mother-in-law's house the other day, and I was asking her if she's watching the trial, and she said yeah, and listen to what she had to say.
So Mom has been watching some of the Lindsay Clancy trial, and I just asked her what she thought about the trial, and this is what she said.
I think he had something to do with it.
Ooh, that's your mother-in-law saying that.
I really do.
So after hearing her say that she thought something fishy was going on, I said, y'all, we really got to talk about this at this point.
You're not losing your mind, Jameson.
Because they got to my mother-in-law too. Before we get into it, though, I need to remind y'all, I am not a professional. Everything in this video is alleged. I pull all of my information from very public sources and news sources that's already out there, filter it through my own words and opinions. So please go do your own research, form your own opinions. Just don't show hate to anybody anywhere. So I did a video on this case back when it first happened. So if you're not all caught up and know what happened and all that stuff, feel free to go back and watch that video, because otherwise we're just going to jump right into everything that's going on now in Lindsay's trial. Now make sure y'all stay to the end of the video to hear my opinions, because we're going to go on a ride here, okay? So
yeah, she's got a few other videos out there that she's grabbed in on this, but this is Radiant Brit, and she's going off of, she's piggybacking off of some videos as we're piggybacking off of her.
It's gonna be a roller coaster, so stay with me. At first, I thought all these new theories that were coming out were absolutely nuts. I'm like, okay, the internet's doing the internet thing again. But there are some aspects about this case that are very strange, and I'm not going to lie to you guys. It makes me question what really happened. So let's talk about Patrick, Lindsay's husband at the time and the father of their 3 children. This is a big talking point right now. It has been reported that Patrick has actually already got remarried in April of this year to a woman named Dr. Rachel Dennis. Now together, allegedly, they've gone on to have a child together. Some people find
and they live in a really big house or a high rise in like New York City or something, right?
This a little strange.
Wait, so this is not Lindsay Clancy. This is the new wife?
And she looks just like Lindsay, supposedly. Yes. What do you guys think? Talk to me. Come on, guys. Talk to me in the chat. That's why we're here. That's why we're doing it live, so that people can partake in this.
What? I went on a deep dive of trying to find out what the new wife looks like. And what? Feel free to go do your own deep dive on this, but this is getting weirder and weirder and weirder.
Now, if we go back to when this happened, Patrick had already spoken out not long afterwards about how he had forgiven Lindsay for what she did. He created a GoFundMe page, and he posted a statement in January of 2023 that talked about his children and how wonderful that they
But he never shed a tear, I heard.
They were. Now, towards the end of it, he talked about Lindsay, and he said that their marriage was wonderful and they grew stronger as her condition rapidly worsened. He said that he took pride in being her husband and that they had a mutual understanding between the two of them that if...
Is that the first time you saw the picture, Janae? How many times, guys, Janae, is that the first time you saw the picture? Monkey? Not my monkeys. Did you say something about that too? Or Stasia? Who saw that too? Somebody else seemed surprised. Really? That's the first time you saw it? I'm really glad. Wait a minute. It is Brittany. Radiant Brit is the one that's doing the video. I'm asking the photo. The photo of the woman that he's married to now was the question. Yeah. Isn't that Radiant Brit? Or is it Christina Randall? I'm sorry. I don't know who I'm listening to here. Maybe it is Radiant Brit. I mean, Christina Randall. I'm sorry. I thought it was Radiant Brit. No? I don't know.
One of them got lost.
It's Christina.
The other
okay.
one was always there to bring that.
I had a video of, they've both done something then. Because I think, no, Radiant Brit is, I see her face now. I'm sorry. I got them confused. I'm really famous for like getting people confused. It's the thing I'm most famous for, actually. Seriously, I'll confuse anybody. Sorry about that. Yeah, Radiant Brit is the one that's covering Gypsy Rose. Sometimes does some stuff in her car, right? Kind of shorter, darker hair. And yeah, this woman is usually does it from a computer screen or something.
Someone back home, like
Sorry.
always.
Sorry.
He said that he wanted to ask that all of you find it deep within yourselves to forgive Lindsay as he had. Now, remember all of this as we talk more about.
But I think it's awesome that you guys never saw a picture of the new wife before.
Patrick. In a statement to the New Yorker from October of 2020.
Yeah, I made a mistake. Radiant Brit, I made a mistake. Do they have the same beginning or something? Because I see something in my head where, I don't know, do they have the same beginning or something? No, you're right. You guys are right. I feel stupid. I'm going to go away. Who is this? What are you giving me, Jamie? I don't know who it is. I'm down for forgiveness, but it's odd to me so quickly. I forgive you. Thank you. Jamie, I don't know what it is that you're giving me. Can you tell me before I put it up? That is to Christina's channel if you want it. I do. Yep, absolutely. Thank you. Okay, this is Christina Randall's channel. This is who this is. Anybody who thought this was Radiant Brit, what's wrong with you? Damn. Smoke too much weed. I could gaslight too, right? Anyway, I'm sorry. Radiant Brit, I have her in my head now. I know what she looks like. I got them confused. I'm sorry. And I will continue to confuse these two because I do that. Sorry.
Patrick also talked about how he had ended up moving to New York and he was rebuilding his life there. Now, this was before him and his new wife got married. So that brings us to this. I found this strange, y'all. I can't lie. Apparently, before this incident happened with Lindsay and the little ones, Patrick, her husband, had been spending a lot of time in New York for work. And people have wondered if Patrick...
So they seem to think that maybe this was a relationship that began before this. Some people think that she didn't do anything with the children, but that she believes she did because she was set up to believe that, but that she was heavily drugged. I don't know. You've never heard of this case until my girls asked me the other day. I told my daughter I've been down the car crash girl case. Mackenzie Sharilla. Well, you could tell him now that we're going her case. You know, we're going
was
down
actually cheating on Lindsay at the time and maybe
Lindsay
having an affair.
Yeah, I worked from home since 2018.
Okay.
But yeah, I built an office down there.
So you were always...
And I heard he never shed a tear, this guy, right? Never shed a tear. This is the husband, this is Patrick.
Yeah, not always, but you were down there when you would work.
When I wasn't traveling, yeah, I was there.
Okay. So when would you travel? Tell us about that.
I really didn't travel, actually, much during COVID, just towards the end and once in November.
November of what year?
And there was something about like the email or the internet where he didn't have internet, but then he had internet.
2022.
November of 2022.
But before that, I traveled extensively.
Well, let's look at November of 2022. November of 2022 is a month before she's telling you in her mother that she was having thoughts, right?
Right.
It's November of 2022, and you traveled. Where did you travel to?
New York.
And how long were you there, sir?
2 nights.
Wow.
And who took care of the kids?
What?
Lindsay.
What a piece of shit.
Do you know what's funny about New York? It's where Patrick Clancy moved to be with his new wife because that's where she's from.
We said yesterday that there is no way this man met this doctor from New York, follow me now, and blissfully fell in love that quick. Like out of all places, he just decided 4 months later to go to New York. Yeah, I'm all for moving on with your life, but I knew that he knew that woman already.
Now, whether or not Patrick was cheating, it
wow.
does make you wonder about the dynamics of him and Lindsay's relationship, like leading up to the incident. It came out during the trial that Patrick and Lindsay had taken turns sleeping separately not long before this happened. And this was supposedly because Lindsay was having trouble sleeping, but while Patrick slept in the basement, Lindsay still had at least one of the little ones in the bed with her. So were they not sleeping in the same room because they didn't want to be around each other? Was there something else going on? Now, I want to say there ain't
It's all alleged and we're not professionals. I get it. We all get it.
nothing wrong with people not sleeping in the same bed or sleeping in the same room. Doesn't mean they don't love each other, especially when you have little ones. Listen, by no means, I'm not judging that at all.
I just want a good night's sleep. It's a problem when it's consistent. I just want to say, to me, it's a problem when it's consistent. You know, I understand on occasion, but when it's consistent,
But when you start putting all of these pieces together, and not to mention when Lindsay was taken to the hospital after the incident. Allegedly, she changed her proxy to her parents versus Patrick. Now, all those glowing words that Patrick said about her,
it works,
she changed her proxy almost like...
What do you need for the Apple Pay? What do I have to give you? Because I don't know how to do that.
She didn't trust him. That could be because she knew what she did, right? And she was like, I can't trust him because I did this to our kids. And it also kind of makes you wonder how much of in her right mind she was to be able to do that. But it is very strange. He's taking all these trips to New York for work. Next thing you know, he moves to New York.
Yeah, so that's really convenient, isn't it? Very convenient. So convenient. Seems to me like they met before then, right?
Marries a woman there and has a kid there. Listen, let's just keep going. So could Patrick...
She knew she was broken. She was asking for help. She was begging for help. And her attorney reads fucking letters with her begging for help. Right, Jamie?
Have been at the very least checked out of the marriage by this point. Was he exhausted? Or maybe was he starting to resent Lindsay? We will probably never know, but it does make you wonder when you think back again to that statement that he put out in the GoFundMe.
You want to know what I think happened? I think the resentment started to grow the second he had kids and realized he had to father them. I think the second he realized it was going to take some of his energy, he purchased a nanny. So when he realized that his wife was now having extreme mental health issues, that to keep the status up, he would have to be going to all of her doctor's appointments and being very involved in it. People keep saying he's a tech bro, but he's not a tech bro. He just works at a tech company. That
I don't know about insurance either.
Company being Microsoft. He's an executive sales manager at Microsoft. He makes about $400,000.
I do have a Cash App, and the link from my Cash App, yeah, I'll put it up. If you're going to ask about it, I'm going to put it up. So let me put it up. There it is. Thank you for asking. I forget to put it up. There we go.
Year. I think family to him is more of a status symbol and less something that he strives for.
This
is the kind of guy that
I called her Radiant Brit by accident because I got them both confused.
Hangs around people that say, to our wives and our children, may they never meet our girlfriends. Haha. I think he saw that there was bad fruit on the tree that he needed to cut off, and that was his wife. Maybe he had thought it through a bunch of times of how he would do it. He would fantasize about it, but it wasn't until that day that it just kind of snapped into place and it happened.
Then y'all, and I have seen so many people talking about this, you guys, it came out during the trial that Patrick actually may have changed his shoes while he was...
And there is a change of shoes. There is something weird with the shoes. There were construction boots and tennis shoes, right?
Out at CBS.
Good night, Gutter Snipe. I appreciate you guys being here. I do. I know it's different. You guys are living in a world down under.
Picking up food. Check this out.
Patrick Clancy yet again brings up something very, very interesting in his statements and his testimony, saying that when he gets home and he physically enters the kitchen, he says he takes his boots off. And then obviously he sets down the takeout order and the CVS items. But he mentions very clearly, I took my boots off. I'm confused about the boots. Just for reference.
And what did you do once you got inside the home?
I started taking my boots off.
Now, the issue I have with that is if you look right here, those don't look like boots. Let me get out of the way. Those look like tennis sneakers. In case you need a close-up, those still look like tennis sneakers from the 3V restaurant. Those don't look like boots. However, about 20 minutes prior, those do look like boots. And if you look at the soles of the boots, they're black. See the black?
Yeah.
See the black?
Yeah.
And let's go to the soles of these shoes. Clearly white.
Yep.
Whether you want to say it's semantics or not, these don't look like the same shoes. I'm not one for conspiracies, but those are legitimately two different shoes. Maybe it's a camera angle, I couldn't tell you, but there's a very clear white sole on one shoe, which looks more like a tennis sneaker, and then there's a dark sole on the other shoe that looks more like a boot when he was at CVS.
Okay.
I've seen the professionals saying that different lighting, different angles, and that he did not change his shoes, but nevertheless, it's what people are talking about. So y'all let me know what y'all think down below, because to me, it actually does look like two different pairs of shoes, but what do I know? It also came out during the trial when Lindsay was found that her body temperature was only 82 degrees. By the time she got to the hospital. Now, some people believe that this shifts the timeline quite a bit, and it makes Patrick look like he was more involved.
It is not
That is weird, though. 82, that's really cold.
scientifically possible for Lindsay to both have strangled Callan and for her body to have been at 82 degrees. Let me tell you guys how I got here. Patrick claims to have left the house at 5:15 p.m., but he sent an email from Surface Pro at 5:24 p.m. Very early in the trial, Patrick said Surface Pro was from his laptop. When Reddington mentioned it later, you sent an email from, what was it called? Surface Pro? At that point, Patrick responded, from my laptop. So this is the second time he said Surface Pro was from his laptop. Once Patrick sees the email in the time timestamp, that is when he backtracks and says, well, it could have been
Thanks,
from my phone.
Asia.
But Reddington already
might
knows
not.
that it was sent from his laptop and not his phone because he has the forensics, and that's why it was submitted to evidence. So that puts Patrick at the home at 5:24 p.m. That means the soonest he could have left would have been 5:25 p.m., which means the latest he could have left would have been 5:29 p.m. because he walked through the doors of CVS at 5:32. From 5:25 to 5:29 is when Patrick actually left the house. Now, there's been no CVS footage from outside when he pulled in and at what time, and there are cameras outside, so we need to see when he pulled in to give us a more accurate time of when he left the home. That means at maximum he'd been gone for 9 minutes, at minimum he'd been gone for 5.
It almost sounds like Calendar Kathy, right? With all those timelines, and I get it.
At 5:32 p.m. he
This
walks into
person's been
CVS
covering
at
the
5.
case. This person's been covering the case for a minute here.
5:33 p.m. he calls Lindsay to say they don't have Pedialyte, but they have generic. We now know this is a lie because on the crime scene, you see the name brand Pedialyte through the bag. 1 minute later, 5:34 is when Lindsay's in back. So the moment that Lindsay calls Patrick back.
Yeah, I heard that Christina Randall has been in trouble before. I heard that.
This is when her movement in the house stops being tracked.
A lot of content creators, some of the male content creators as well, right? But you can clearly also see it in her behavior, and you could see it in the behavior of certain content creators as well that want to change their life around. I agree. Look at Nadatha. I think Nadatha's doing a great job.
Leaves her at the top floor of the house. We do not know that she left upstairs after that. That gives her a maximum of 9 minutes from the time he left until that phone call. Her toxicology reports say that the Seroquel levels in her system were double that of a therapeutic dose, which is sedating. So is that why she stopped moving upstairs? All of that brings us to 5:35 p.m., which is the soonest time it would have been possible for Lindsay to jump. 5:55 p.m. is when Patrick leaves the restaurant. The drive time is between 10 and 12 minutes. This places him at the home somewhere between 6:05 and 6:07. At 6:11 is when 911 is called. Patrick claims he was having trouble calling 911, but we all obviously know now that this is a lie.
Did you guys hear about the case? I can believe anything. Did you guys hear about the case seriously? About this is true about the guy who put his wife like on almost like an S&M, but beyond that site, right? And then he drugged his wife. Well, there's two cases. One where he just this is abroad that, and this was like this year, where one guy, I think it was in France or something, where he was allowing people to come and sleep with his wife, and his wife had not a clue because she was so drugged at night. And then there was just an MURDER case where there was a man who he did get rid of his wife, but he had hired somebody saying that it was his wife and that he was into all this S&M shit and to come in and be really rough. And the woman had not a clue about this. She wakes up with this guy, this stranger, on top of her, and she's fighting for her life. She looks over and sees her husband there. She thinks her husband's going to save her life, and the husband kills them both, basically. You know what I mean? And tries to blame the guy that he basically said, you can come and do this, and said that he was his own wife. Don't you guys heard about that, right? I'm serious. You could look it up. You guys could look it up. Look up exactly what I said, and it will tell you. Here, I'll tell you about the case. I'm not making this shit up. So help me God, I'm telling the truth here. Watch. Let me see. What's the case where the husband had the wife killed by having somebody come to the house and act like she was into S&M? Christine Banfield and Joseph Ryan from Herndon, Virginia. And it was him and his au pair catfished a stranger named Joseph Ryan on a BDSM fetish site, pretending to be Banfield's wife, and lured Ryan to the house. I'm telling you the truth. I'm like, Why are you bringing Kathy into this? Oh, because it's Grace. Okay. I was going to say, what's Kathy doing? Guys, I wanted to say, Kathy had an amazing live stream last night with a surprise guest. So not only was it the woman that works in the coroner's office, was it Jane, right? Dear Jane, is it, right? She hasn't been feeling well. Dearly Departed guy, that guy from Dearly Departed, that really famous YouTube channel. So you guys should check that out. This is the link to Kathy's
because
channel
911
here.
calls bypass any sort of service area.
It is
Okay,
horrific.
so this is
That
really where it
story-
shifts.
That story that I just told you, those two stories, the one where the woman, seriously, every night, he doesn't even know. The woman doesn't even know. I think that's in France that happened. And then this one, the Banfield thing, that was absolutely unbelievable. It was horrible. Dear Jane. Yeah, thank you. Absolutely horrible.
6:15 is when the first responders arrive. Callan arrived to the ER
Terrible
somewhere
case.
between 6:30 and 6:40.
Yes.
But because I'm
Not
trying to
Michael.
give everything the benefit of the doubt, I'm using the earliest times possible. So let's say 6:30. It is on record that 10 minutes after the ambulance arrived to the emergency room, 10 minutes after, they were able to start Callan's heartbeat back up. In order for them to get the heartbeat back with an infant in those circumstances, the longest his heartbeat could not have been going was 30 minutes, right? And that's already rare. Like the most rare, 1 in a million chance would be 45 minutes.
Okay, so this guy has definitely clearly done some thoughts on this.
So if Callan's heartbeat restarted at 6:40, 30 minutes, which is extreme, would have been 6:10. Patrick was home at 6:07. There is a psychotic, I said, once in a million shot that they're able to get the heartbeat back after 45 minutes max, but even that puts his situation at 5:55. If he was at 5:55, that never would have given Lindsay time for her to jump from the window and for her body to drop to 82 degrees. Even with all of her injuries, it
He definitely did his homework. He knows math. I mean, listen,
is scientifically
science is
impossible
science.
for
Exactly.
him to be
Science
shot
is
at
science.
5:55 p.m. for her to jump and her body to be at 82
So he's saying the timelines. He done did it.
degrees, even with all the injuries she had. One of the claims that they're making is that she got off the phone with him and that's when she jumped. But if that were the case, if Callan had been out since 5:35 p.m., they never in a million years would have been able to bring back a heartbeat.
Now, I do want to also say that I have seen people say, and I think this makes a lot of sense, that
Guys, I want you to know that Jamie wears a tinfoil hat sometimes.
because of her injuries and her losing fluids, the way that she was losing them, makes your core temperature drop, and that would make sense. But some of y'all are professionals, and y'all let me know what you think. It has also been said that Lindsay's DNA was not found on the devices that she used. You know, those exercise bands? They did not find her DNA on it.
That's weird, because she would have been hanging on to them for dear life, right?
At all.
More likely if it originated from Dawson Clancy and an unknown individual than if it originated from two unknown unrelated individuals. This provides support that Dawson Clancy is included as a contributor to this DNA profile. The DNA profile from this item is at least 3.6 million times more likely if it originated from Callan Clancy and an unknown individual than if it originated from two unknown unrelated individuals. This provides support that Callan Clancy is included as a contributor to this profile.
Yeah, there's horrible things that happen in this world. Absolutely.
The DNA profile from this item is at least 1.4 billion times more likely if it originated from Patrick Clancy and an unknown individual.
Jamie, do you think that Jamie should do a little bit of true crime if she wanted to? She's been watching this, man. She's been telling me about it. Because I cover, a lot of things. I don't do a lot of deep dives because I cover a lot of things. I think the deepest dive I've done, I mean, I do over the course of time, don't get me wrong, but right away, not so much. So,
Than if it originated from two unknown, unrelated individuals. This provides support that Patrick Clancy is included as a contributor to this DNA profile. Cora Clancy and Lindsay Clancy are excluded from this DNA profile.
However, a forensic scientist on TikTok explains that it's not quite as simple as that.
Okay.
A forensic scientist and a former CSI, let's talk about the DNA results on the exercise bands. In this case, the DNA evidence is so tricky because all three decedents share the same parents. And since you get half of your DNA from mom,
Yeah, but where's the DNA?
Lindsay, and half of your DNA from dad, Patrick, the parents have very similar DNA profiles to their children, and obviously each of the 3 siblings have very similar DNA profiles to each other. And on most of these exercise bands, there were complex mixtures, meaning there were mixtures of 3, 4, or 5 people. Those types of DNA profiles, mixtures of multiple people, are challenging to interpret even when the people are not related. But in this case, where all of the people are first-degree relatives, parents or siblings to each other, it's almost impossible to make sense of this mixture. So
I would think her DNA would be on it.
on this yellow band, Dawson was included in the DNA profile taken from the middle, and Dawson was included on the ends, but Cora and Lindsay were excluded. And on the middle of the black band, Cora was included. But you didn't really hear very good stats for inclusion for Lindsay on any of the 3 exercise bands. And on some of the exercise bands, Patrick was included, both in the middle and on the end. So does that mean that Lindsay is not the one who put these bands on the children? No. Does it mean that Patrick is the one who put the exercise bands on the children?
No.
No. It really is meaningless within the context of who.
I can't believe that. Well, DNA is DNA. I mean, if they were going to convict fucking Brian Koberger on a piece of touch DNA, what the fuck? I don't believe that.
Who put the exercise band on the children? Because there is going to be an overwhelming amount of DNA from the child's neck on this object. It's going to make it very difficult to look for a low-level profile from the person who was holding this.
Nah, because that person holding it is holding it for a certain amount of time. You can believe it. You know what I'm saying? And there's their hands sweating. There's things underneath their fingernails. No. If there's rings on the person's finger, there's dirt underneath the rings and stuff. No, I disagree. You're wrong. I think you're wrong.
It's relatively smooth.
How many people think that I'm right? Red, yes. Blue, no.
Exercise band and putting it on the neck. And then we know that Patrick touched each of the bands when he was removing them from the necks, and that's going to leave his DNA there. At that moment, when he's removing the bands from the necks, he is in an amplified state. His adrenaline is up. He is probably sweating and moving very quickly, which means the likelihood that he is going.
I do have an email. Toddy, one skip at gmail.com. TODDIE at gmail.com.
To transfer his DNA onto the exercise bands is a little bit higher because you're sweating. That helps to kind of slough off your skin cells. But it's also possible that there could have been an overwhelming amount of Patrick's DNA on the exercise bands before this event. For example, if he used those to work out.
Now, while this seems like a plausible explanation, some people are just still not convinced, you guys. I mean, they wonder why, if Lindsay did what they said she did with those devices, how could there not be a clear sample of her DNA on it, especially while there are clear samples on Patrick's? Well, people also find it suspicious that Lindsay and Patrick had nanny cams in the house, but it just so happens that the Wi-Fi was out during that incident, so no footage was recorded of them at all.
Okay, here's something I find weird with the Lindsay Patrick situation. So the Wi-Fi, okay, it's claimed he was working from home that day, so surely he needed the Wi-Fi to work from home. He got home, he called Lindsay, no issues whatsoever. But there was issues when he tried to call 911 because his phone kept going in and out trying to connect to the Wi-Fi. But it's claimed.
And you would think that there would be a lot because of that, right? I mean, come on. That Ryan laugh, isn't that something? That's absolutely.
That there was cameras in the house, and that day they weren't working because there was issues with the Wi-Fi. So
but he had to work at
call
home.
her earlier, no issues. But then he tries to call 911, issues. Cameras aren't working because no Wi-Fi that day, but you worked from home all day. Surely you used Wi-Fi.
I called Lindsay to see if she was home.
Absolutely, Jamie. And you don't even have to have a fucking working phone for that, to be honest with you, right?
Because I looked.
Point did you call 911?
I don't know the exact time, but it took a few minutes because my phone was switching between Wi-Fi and 911. So I almost just started calling out for the neighbors, but eventually it went through.
Okay.
Does this guy sound like he has any kind of like trauma? And how is he so trauma free after supposedly coming home and witnessing what you supposedly witnessed?
So you had some difficulty connecting, but eventually you connected to the 911 operator?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, at this point, some people believe that literally while this trial is going on, Lindsay is realizing that she may have been set up by Patrick.
I think that we are all watching Lindsay Clancy realize she actually didn't kill those.
Watch this. This is interesting. Pixie Sparkle, how you doing?
Kids. Why did
she's saying This is what we're doing. We are doing this. We are watching how Lindsay Clancy is realizing in real time as we're watching her, maybe realize, wait a minute, maybe I didn't do this.
Did he need a GoFundMe? Is he paying for her lawyer? $1.7 million for what? How much does a funeral cost? He is panicking right now. He's got a family member in law enforcement, the new wife's husband.
I only put it up when somebody asked for it. I said, I'll go ahead and put it up there because you guys have asked for it. So I put it up there.
Is connected to Hollywood. He's living in a high rise.
To put it up in the live streams, you know. I don't
in
want to
Manhattan
push people into anything.
With a new doctor wife and a new baby. This man has not shed one tear.
I haven't seen him shed a tear
Kevin
either.
Reddington is also figuring this out as it goes. It's all becoming so clear.
Then some of Lindsay's journal entries and social media posts were presented during the trial.
Further on into her travels, I am completely overwhelmed trying to take care of the kids I'm doing every day. I feel guilty that I'm spending my family's money and not making any. I feel like I spend way too much.
Does this sound like a woman who had that in her heart? And hey, Pixie Sparkles, thank you so much. That's very kind of you. Thank you. That's very kind of you. I really appreciate that. That means a lot to me. There's no benefit except for me, just so you know. I don't really do anything special for members because people can't always afford it. So, and I do the work anyway. So, but anyway, thank you. It means a lot to me. I appreciate that. Yeah, so she was
She wrote that, right?
absolutely horrible.
I'm terrified of Callan getting sick. He's a sick.
This is a woman who is absolutely, I mean, maybe she was so afraid she just said, we're better off not here. I don't know, but I don't know. Too many of you yesterday, Jamie being the loudest one in my ear, said there's something wrong here, Toddy, please look into it. And I said I would. So I keep my promises, and we're going to continue on with this because this is a story you guys like. I might do videos on my own because I can't keep extending live streams. It's another long live stream. I thought I'd only do an hour and a half, but see.
A sick baby is miserable. He's sick now with a double ear infection. Clearly has a bellyache. It's miserable. I feel like the other kids are going to get him sick all winter long. She wrote that, right?
Correct.
I always feel strongly against sleep training. I feel like it's to let the baby cry and not respond. But I made the decision. I did it with Cal. There's way too much crying. It's incredibly stressful. She wrote that, right?
Correct.
He's okay. He will be okay. It's not harmful in any way. The doctor said it was okay. Plenty of people sleep train their kids at that age. It's necessary.
This is a woman who's trying to convince herself it's okay to let her baby cry. Do you know that? This is a woman that is writing in her journal, trying to convince herself that it is okay and safe for a baby to just exhaust themselves by crying as long as nothing is wrong with them. It's okay. That doesn't sound like the same type person, but I don't know how the mind works either. So,
As a third child is what she wrote, right?
Correct.
I feel incredibly sad and guilty about not breastfeeding anymore. That was the one thing I could do to help his immune system, and I can tell he really doesn't like the formula. I'm very sad about this. I know at this time it's what I needed to do for my mental health. She wrote that, right?
Correct.
And then the statement started getting smaller and smaller as time went by. One occasion, it's like I'm desperate to get a mental break from taking care of everyone. My mind is trying to make something physically wrong with me. My mind never shuts off. It's constantly thinking of the next thing someone needs. I can't shut it off. I desperately want to go back to work, but now I don't know how I'm going to function, and it worries me. Wrote that, right?
Correct.
There were two pages that were blank that she didn't even write on, and then on the third entry.
This woman is broken. This woman is so sad, and she needed fucking help. Why didn't somebody help her? And here's the worst bit. She worked in that field. Do you guys know that that was the field she worked in? Yeah, you need a monocle. That's exactly. I was thinking of that too. Yep. You need that bad boy. Like the Monopoly person. This woman worked in that field. She knew what she needed.
Affirmations. She wrote affirmations on November 22nd of 2022. I am calm. I will remain calm today. There is nothing.
Hi, Chicago Jane. Jamie is Milk, Honey, and Mayhem. She's one of the moderators here. I'm just talking to Jamie. She's a moderator here. Welcome, Chicago Jane.
That needs to be on my mind. The weight is lifted from my mind. I will sleep tonight. She wrote that, right?
Correct.
Hi, Miss January.
Continuing
How are
on into
you?
November. I slept well last night. I will sleep again tonight. Today will be a great day. I will.
This is somebody who's trying to do, I mean, she's struggling and she's writing these things to herself to bring herself up. So of course she needed help. She asked for help. She had to have, she saw this. And this guy, man, he might have played right into that. What kind of medication was in her stomach, Jamie?
Go back to work on Sunday. I will thrive. I can feel like myself again. That was November 23rd. She wrote that, right?
I believe that's the day, yes.
Right
Gratitude.
before Thanksgiving,
I'm grateful
or
for
around
Sue,
Thanksgiving?
who's always listening. That'd be a mother-in-law. You knew that, right?
Yes.
So I'm grateful to Sue for always listening and trying her best to help me. Kids are sleeping great for Pat. Pat is handling nighttime stuff. Julie for making a plan for me. A big thing is I feel disconnected with myself. Time, reality. I think going back to work will help with that.
Jamie, you could probably get these, no lie. I'm serious. Don't go there and get them yet. I'll help you get them much cheaper. I have an idea.
She wrote that, right?
Now, obviously, these posts show just how much Lindsay was struggling. I mean, at least according to her. But some people have wondered if Lindsay was actually working as hard as she should have been with her doctors regarding her mental health.
No, Lindsay Clancy did not want to get help. You're telling me she had all the resources, had all the access to, so lucky and privileged to be a white American woman in an upper middle class lifestyle, literally have access to so many different doctors, so many different medications, didn't take any of the medications, at least wasn't taking them appropriately. She did not try and get help. Acting like she was trying so hard to get help is honestly ridiculous. If she wanted
I wonder why she thinks that. Why does she think that?
help, she could have got it easily. She worked at the place where you get the help. Her friends and coworkers were the people who give you that kind of help.
So you mean she didn't tell anybody and nobody noticed anything? Those would be the people that would notice shit, no? Yes? Wouldn't you think?
Trained to see the signs
Well,
of
if they
postpartum
were
depression and
trained,
psychosis.
hang on right there, mouthpiece. If they were trained to see the signs, why didn't they see the signs in her? Because just like you can't be your own fucking doctor, you can't diagnose yourself because you get too close. I don't like when people do this bullshit. Don't fucking do this. It's not fair. This is not fair. She might be able to diagnose in somebody else, but you don't want to be your own damn doctor. That's not fair.
But no, she didn't get help.
That was in her system. Was that prescribed to her? That's all like the same fucking medication. All of those three were in the same. I mean, all of those were those prescribed to her? Or that's weird to have so much of that prescribed to you. They're the same thing. Yeah, she was struggling. I don't like this girl. I don't like her. And I don't say stuff like that, but that hit me wrong. You know, that's like being a marriage counselor and your own marriage falling apart. And all of a sudden you can't help other people. I don't like that at all. Absolutely not.
No, she didn't stay at the hospital. No, she didn't take her medication appropriately.
Thank you so
I
much.
am not a doctor, and I know that if you're taking mental health medication, it's at least a month of consistent taking that medication before it'll actually be in effect.
I like that.
It takes a long time, and you have to combine it with health, exercise, and sleeping and eating well, which all of those things she wasn't doing because she was too busy doing what? Going to doctor's appointments?
I don't like this woman at all. I'm surprised that, well, she's allowed. I mean, I'm sorry. I didn't watch the whole thing that Christine put out because I knew that there was, I mean, it doesn't matter. I would have went with this anyway because she's showing two different sides. It's just bothering me because I feel like, what nerve do you have? Sometimes we can't see things when we're sick. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people don't see how even physically sick they are. But somebody else can spot it like that. Are you not feeling well? You look a little under the weather. Well, actually, I really don't feel that good. But maybe they didn't notice it. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that.
It's not like she didn't have anyone there to help her with the kids. It's not like she was stuck at home with the kids like you guys are with your kids.
You had at home. You don't know what she had at home. All you're saying is she should have had some fucking charm life because she had money. And that's bullshit. That is bullshit. Some of the most miserable fucking people have money because what they realized is the shit that you really need, you can't buy with money. I don't like this woman.
No one's helping you. She had plenty of help. She had a babysitter. She had a nanny. She had parents staying with them. She had her husband working from home. Every resource, every single resource you can imagine to be like comfortable as a wife she had, and she it all off because
that's
of what?
a lot of nerve. That's a lot of nerve to tell somebody that they're not suffering because they're financially secure. That is fucked up. That is just so, that's white privilege thinking of you. She should have no problems because they're able to pay the rent and buy brand name shit. What an idiot thing to say.
Mad at her kids. It's like, which is more believable? A dozen doctors all missed the same warning signs? Or maybe one patient just wasn't being honest with a dozen doctors.
But on the flip side of that, I mean, some people believe that Lindsay was just a lab rat.
I think you should smack the shit out of that girl.
For the doctors who kept prescribing her a bunch of different medications at different dosages.
Lindsay Clancy didn't need.
Okay. Now, is this what happened here? So she was given all these different medications and we have to do better. We have to do better than this. We have to do better.
Need another prescription. She needed legitimate help.
Yes, she
did. I
did.
believe Lindsay Clancy was being treated as a lab rat. Let's just keep running more and more tests. Let's just keep giving her more and more medication. Let's see if this works. Oh, this doesn't work. Let's up the dosage. Oh, that doesn't work. Let's up this one. Let's also add this one. Lindsay was documenting everything in her journal, also letting her husband at the time, Patrick, know, letting her friends and family and psychiatrists know something isn't right. This is a labor and delivery nurse at Mass General, one of the best hospitals in the country, arguably the best in the country. This woman would have known if something isn't right. This woman would have known this isn't adding up. I'm not feeling myself. Something's not okay. We need to do something, whether the medication has to be regulated or something.
Again, I feel the same way, even though he's sitting here saying what I think he is saying is that he feels like there's nothing wrong, that she felt there was nothing wrong with her, and perhaps it's the husband 100%. I feel the same way, whether he's on whatever side. If you are sick, listen. So a lot of you know, I've told you guys, when I lost my dad, I lost Jen, and I lost my cat. And it was within like a 4-month period, 5-month period, right? And one of my family members said, hey, I think, maybe you need to go speak to somebody because, I don't know how you're handling this, okay? And somebody else said to me, one of my friends, and I always laugh when I say this, she was like, hey, you might need to go speak to somebody because it's not normal the way people have died in your life. Like, that's not normal to lose that many people. And I thought, well, I mean, they all didn't go at the same time, you know what I'm saying? And, my dad was older and it was COVID. And anyway, I don't know that I would have gotten help because I don't know that I saw it. I trusted in my friends to say, hey, maybe you should do this. And I was obviously open to it. She was stuck at home with the kids, right? She was stuck at home with the kids. So who was supposed to tell her? And if her husband was messed up, if he was in on something or he just didn't care,
But I'm telling you.
What about that other woman where they lived in that camper and kept having more and more kids? It wasn't a camper. It was like a van or a Winnebago. And I mean, you could see that she was deteriorating and she ended up unaliving her children. Remember that?
Lindsay Clancy did not need
medication like that. That's another thing. They go straight to these hard meds. It's crazy that they go straight to hard meds. People that never, Andrea Yates. Thank you, Stasia. She should have had a husband that noticed, right? Absolutely. So, yeah, and what's the thing, like, why wouldn't they give somebody a smaller dosage and see and then build it up instead of a larger dose? Even when it comes to pain medicine, people should be getting ibuprofen that never have done drugs, or maybe Tylenol 3. No, they're giving them oxys and shit. That's crazy.
Other medication. She didn't need another prescription. She needed legitimate help. And I don't think she got it. I think she was being passed around like a hot potato. And unfortunately, we saw what happened.
And as of me filming this, I was just watching the trial earlier today and listening to her psychiatrist testify. Did any of y'all watch that? Boy, the defense ate her up. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if this woman is ever going to get customers again after this. Like, whoa. And if y'all want me to go over all that, let me know, because I keep following the show. I'm going to be following it anyways, but if y'all want me to go over it with y'all, let me know. Now, I do think it's very important that we keep in mind, you guys, that Lindsay's not denying that she did this. Okay, Lindsay said she did it. She admitted to it. She said how she did it. She admitted to doing it. However, Lindsay does claim that she was experiencing a severe postpartum psychiatric illness that progressed into psychosis, and that her treatment actually contributed to it getting worse to the point that it did. And remember, this trial is not the typical guilty or not guilty trial.
And they're trying to get reason of insanity.
Lindsay has been charged with 3 counts of first degree. She can be convicted guilty and possibly receive life in prison without the possibility of parole, or she can be found not guilty by reason of insanity, or in other words, by reason of lack of criminal responsibility. This is what her defense is pursuing. And if she's found to be not guilty by reason of insanity.
Well, that person you were asking about, Jamie, is from Milk, Honey, and Mayhem. She thinks so too. She thinks he did it.
Her likely sentence would be for her to be committed to a psychiatric hospital, possibly for the rest of her life. Yeah. There is still the option for her to be found flat out not guilty, but that's probably not likely at all. So the chances of her just like walking free from this are very, very, very slim. Thank God. And I'm going to tell y'all, I believe I said this in my other video, no matter what happens at the end of this, okay? I don't believe Lindsay Clancy should be free, okay? I am on the side of postpartum psychosis, but she should never.
Jamie, put your channel up here, please.
Ever be free again. This is my opinion. This is when I want to bring up Andrea Yates, and I brought her up in the other video, I believe, when I talked about Lindsay. And if y'all don't know the story about Andrea Yates, I did a video on it. You guys can go and check.
Oh, see, she talked about Andrea Yates too.
Check it out. She ended up doing what she did too in a very similar psychosis, and she ended up being sent to a mental hospital. They were going to release her so many years ago, and she said, no, I need to stay in. And I don't believe that Lindsay Clancy should ever be free.
Well, good for Andrea Yates for saying, no, man, I don't trust myself. Guys, this is Milk, Honey, and Mayhem. Please check out her channel.
Yeah.
Jameson.
I don't know if I think she should be in prison. Prison is not equipped to handle somebody
I
like
agree
her.
with you, Christina.
If you guys have listened to my old prison stories, the people in there that are so mentally ill, the guards have a hard time, the inmates have a hard time, they have a hard time. It's just not a place for somebody in these types of mental states.
We're going to stay on it, Chicago Jane.
They should be in a different spot. But I do not think anybody that is mentally...
You're good, crazy. Welcome.
...capable of doing what she did by what she says that she did should not be free, again, in my opinion. Now, with all of that being said, I do think something was up with Patrick. I don't know if he was just exhausted by everything at home and almost maybe ignoring it. Like maybe he trusted Lindsay. He was looking for any glimmer of hope because he was exhausted with the back and forth. I mean, if you guys...
I just don't believe people. The imagination that people do, the things that people... Look at Chris Watts. I mean, like, he didn't have any imagination. Look at what he did. With just blatant. How do you kiss your children goodnight and have them sing hero songs about their daddy and then do that?
Are watching the trial, one thing is for sure, she was trying to get help. She was...
Oh, absolutely. I'm a subscriber to her
go
channel.
Into the emergency rooms. She was calling psychiatric places. She was going to different doctor's offices. Was she taking her medication like they wanted her to? Lots of the time, no, but nobody was overseeing. She should have been in a facility 24/7 and not let out. And I think when she did get put in a facility, she ended up being able to check herself out. And she wasn't telling the whole truth. But I do wonder if he was getting overwhelmed, not knowing how to handle it, and if there's some negligence on his part.
Well, Jamie seems to think there's more than negligence, definitely liability. And so does Chicago Jane. And a bunch of other people seem to think that maybe this guy was the perpetrator.
However, hindsight is 2020. I'm sure he feels horrible about it.
I haven't seen that.
I do wonder what was going on with him. I do wonder if a rift in their marriage, and I'm not blaming this on Patrick, I'm just saying, was not helping her mental state. I do wonder. I do wonder about these trips to New York, and he just so happens to marry a woman there, and he just so which, listen, again, something like this horrific happens. Maybe you're just in such a broken state, you're looking for someone to lean
I think you're giving him a lot of grace.
on. You find someone to lean on.
We all need someone to lean on.
Fall in love, and
Who does that song?
You decide to move on. There is nothing wrong with that for an innocent person, okay? But I'm just, with all these pieces, it's strange. It's very, very, very strange. I do got to
Or a coinky dinky, a wackadoodle coinky dinky.
say that. With all of that, I don't think there's enough evidence to say that the man should be held accountable in some
Well, let's wait.
way. I mean, do y'all? If you do, let me know. Do you think that he should have been charged with negligence at the very
She's giving him too much
least?
grace.
Or are you convinced that he actually may have been way more involved than what we're thinking? I know a lot of people out there are thinking that.
A total eclipse of the heart.
I'm just not there. I'm thinking she did it. The question is, how far in psychosis was she? Another
So Christina thinks she
question
did it.
is, were they having marriage problems? She was having mental health issues, big, big, big issues. Did she know he was seeing somebody else? And did she decide, this is how I'm going to hurt you by taking them out and taking myself out? But she survived. That's another question too. I don't know. What do y'all think? I can tell y'all this. The defense.
Well, she was given medication for something. She was given medication for something. What was she given the medication for?
Her defense is very good. I mean, he hasn't even gotten to her defense yet, and he has been working on the prosecution's witnesses. It's going to be interesting to see the defense. It may change all of our minds, because right now we're only seeing the prosecution.
Guys, that came to an abrupt end, huh? But yeah, okay, 5 minutes over 2 hours. We're going to try to do it in an hour and a half, guys, because this is like, I got to give my eyes a break now. Woo! I appreciate you guys. He was having to keep his pecker in his pocket, pecker in his pants. Well, I'm going to check out more stuff, and I'm going to do some more videos on it. I'm going to give my eyes a break. And I am going to thank all of you guys for being here and allowing me to do this. This is fun with you guys. And I do want to do it, 4 days a week, as long as you guys will join me for it. So hopefully you'll continue to like this, and I'll continue to get better at it, and we'll keep doing it. Guys, have a super great Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Another day. Happy poop. Thank you so much. In the park. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys. I really do. You're great. You're wonderful. For those people that are coming in on the replay, thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys immensely. All right, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Don't forget, there's videos on Everybody Has a Story to Tell with Toddy One Skip, and there's videos also on this channel as well. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that. Happy eclipse, people. Be careful with your eyeballs. Be great. Hit that like button. I appreciate you guys. Take care.